Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanaatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Shreshtham Manamapi Shachiputramatra Surupam Rupam Tasyagrajamurupuring Mathurim Goshtavatim Radha Kunda Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurum Tamnatosmi Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Ataf Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagarna Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I've been talking about various holy places and unholy places, or holy places, or places, some places which are considered holy by some. All under the category of Tirthas. But Vaishnavas, they know that the real Tirtha is Krishna himself. And the carrying over is done by Krishna. Everything's ultimately done by Krishna. even in place of demigod worship. Now, those who are addicted to the Jatamat Tatapat misunderstanding, they won't like this. Actually, that Jatamat Tatapat, it has its antecedents. There's another verse which the smartas of South India know very well. Akashat patitam toyam. I have to look to see. Yata gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskaram keshavam prati gacchati. Just as water falls from the sky and eventually it enters back into the sea. So in the same way, I offer up my respect to all the devas, because in that way the respect goes to Keshava. And the smartas say this, the Vaishnavas don't say this. Now where's that from, that verse? Don't know. Don't know. It comes under the category of Shubhasita, which means you don't know where it's from. There's a whole category of Sanskrit sayings. They're mostly sayings. I don't know where they're from. However, in the Rig Veda, and that's really authoritative, Shruti Pramana. That's the most Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the Vedic followers accept. What does he say? Shruti Praman Shiramani. The topmost Praman is the Shruti. And then even some who accept the Shruti, they don't accept the Upanishads, but this is from Rig Veda Sanghita. I'll read the whole verse, although one line of it is particularly well known. Indrang Mitrang Varunam Agnim Ahurato Divyasa Suparno Garutatmanan Ekam sad vipro, ekam sad vipram bahuda vadanti, agnim yamang matarishva namahu. So the well-known line from that is ekam sad viprang bahudha vadanti. That the one Sat, the one true, eternal, is spoken of in many ways by the Vipras, which is variously translated as the wise, the learned, the sages, and the whole verse translation goes something like this. Indra, Mitra, Varuna, these are gods who feature prominently in the Vedas, in the Rig Veda, Samhita, more than Vishnu. They're mentioned many times. So Indra, Mitra, Varuna, Agni, and Suparna Garudatmanam, the Garuda, Divya. Exactly how this word divya is, as an adjective to what exactly? They're all divya, all these persons. And then again says the wise call that one truth, that ekam sat, that one truth is called in many ways, and then again gives some names. Again Agni, and Yama, and Matarishwan, which is a name for Vayu. So there you go. The one truth is spoken of in many ways by the wise. Well, Vipra, Veda partet bhavet Vipra, Brahmajanatiti Brahmana. Vipra means he's learned, but it doesn't mean he's actually realized what he's learned. That is called a Brahmana. We have something in the Srimad Bhagavatam which says that the one truth is spoken of in different ways, 3 ways precisely. Vedanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabhyate. This doesn't say vipra, which is vipra, the plural. But it says that those actually knowledgeable of tattva. One may be learned in Shastra, but not. He may be Shastravit, learned in Shastra, but not Tattvavit, not understanding properly, as we say philosophically. Actually, I was just thinking that what we call philosophy, Vaishnava philosophy, more correctly, if we're going to use English words, would be theology, in the way the term philosophy is understood. Anyway, those who know the truth, but they speak of it, again, Vedanti. They speak of it in 3 ways, although it's actually one, as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. And then that is analyzed with the understanding that's 3 aspects or 3 perspectives on the ultimate one reality, and some perspectives are more complete than others. So if we say that the Vipras, they speak of the one truth in various ways, it may be that there are different levels of realization, but that's not here because they're giving the names of different gods. But it may be that the one truth is spoken of in many ways by the Vipras. Well, some ways may be right and some ways may be wrong, or not fully correct. They may speak with misunderstanding also. Because na savrishe yasya matam na bhinnam. To be known as a rishi, to get your name put in the Puranas, to make it to the history books, you have to be not just some round the block rishi. You have to be a big shot. You have to be a big time rishi to be able to get your name recorded. Otherwise, there are so many rishis. Ahani, Ahani, Bhutani. They come and go. Nowadays, we don't get. But otherwise, in Vedic culture, there were so many. So their ideas may be right and their ideas may be wrong. But actually, Krishna, Vedaischa sarverahameva vedyaha. Krishna is the actual object of knowledge in the Vedas. Sarve Veda Yat Padama Mananti. In the Upanishads, it said that all the Vedas speak of one ultimate truth. But they don't make it very clear what that truth is. Krishna makes that clear. So Krishna is the best Tirtha. He is the means and the end. We go to a Tirtha, or we do any religious process with an end in mind. We have some result that we're hoping for. But Krishna is the means and the end. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada, Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Hearing about, chanting about, remembering, worshipping, praying to, becoming a servant of, becoming a friend of, surrendering everything to Vishnu. Iti pungsarpitang Vishnu bhaktis chainava lakshana. Kriyeta bhagavatya tan manye dhitam uttamam. This is the best of all learning. When someone has learned all the Vedas, they have to come to this conclusion of Bhagavad Bhakti, acting in these 9 ways of Bhagavad Bhakti. And unlimited ways, but under 9 main categories. And not just worshipping him, of course one can worship him with material desires also, offer desires for liberation, because he's like a kalpa vriksha, a wish-fulfilling tree. Whatever we want, we can get from him. But the real message, the ultimate message of the Vedas is of pure, selfless, devotional service to him, without any personal motive. It's not like you go to a demigod and pray, please give me something, you get it, okay, thanks a lot, see you later when I need something else. It's not like that. It's not even asking for anything. The only thing, we'll find in the Bhagavatam that Krishna offers boons to various devotees, or they may pray to him themselves for boons. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was showing his, manifesting his opulence as the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the house of Srivas Thakur, he called all the devotees and gave them various boons. And so they didn't ask for anything personal. They didn't say, mend my house, Sridhar the banana seller. He's selling bananas in Bengal, where everyone has banana trees just growing. Even if you don't plant them, they just grow in your courtyard. Not a very profitable business. So he had a broken roof and a broken water pot, but he didn't ask anything material. None of them asked anything material. Give me devotion to your lotus feet, life after life. May I be engaged in the service of your devotees, life after life. May I be attached to my guru, and in this way they prayed for such benedictions. So this is really the message of the Vedas. And people who go to demigods, they get benefits. That's why they go to demigods. They get something. Kangshantam karmanam siddhim yajanta iha devataha kshipram. What is it? Kshiprang hi manushe loke siddhya bhavati karmaja. They go to the demigods, and because they want some karma siddhi, they want some result. And they get it quickly by worshipping the demigods. But, why is that? Because Krishna gives the result. What's the verse for that? Yo yang tanang bhakta shraddhaya. No, that's a different one. Yo yang tanang bhakta shraddhaya achita mechati tasya achalang shraddham tameva viditamyaham. People worship demigods in this world. I'm getting a little bit off course. Desiring, they worship with great faith that they'll get something. They have a desire, and they worship various forms of different deities. And they do so with great faith, and Krishna says, I make their faith very strong. Satya shraddhaya yuktas tasya radhanamihate labhate chatata kaman mayaiva vihitan hitan. They're worshipping with great faith, but in one way they're worshipping me. They get what they want. Krishna gives it. Ultimately, everything comes from Krishna. But what it is, it's yajantya vidhi purvakam. They're worshipping the demigods. They should have been worshipping Krishna. Still, Krishna says this, but prior to this in Bhagavad Gita, he says, Ishtan bhogan hivo devan. Ishtan bhogan hivo deva dasyante yagya bhavitaha. Taidatana pradayebhyo yo bhunkte stena evasa. At least worship the demigods. You're getting so many gifts from them. If you don't acknowledge them, then you're a thief. It's taking things, but not acknowledging the source of them. If you take something, there's a deal. You take something, but you're supposed to give something back. You're supposed to worship in return. So if you don't do that, then you're a thief. And you may say, well, why don't we worship demigods then? Because, well, later on, Krishna, he says that if you don't worship demigods, you're a thief, but if you do worship them, you're a fool. Kamaistai hridigyana prapadyantenya devataha. Persons whose actual knowledge is spoiled because they want to fulfill material desires, they worship the demigods. So, is it right to be a fool? If you don't worship demigods, then you're a thief. And if you do worship them, you're a fool. So it's better to be an intelligent thief or a good fool. What's the conclusion? The Krishna says, Saradhaman paridyaja mamekam sharnam raja ahang tva sarva bhavebhyo moksha yishami masucha. Actually, one's not a thief if one worships Krishna only. But even if one thinks like that, then Krishna takes away all sinful reactions from persons who fully surrender to him. And of course that is explained more in the Bhagavatam, Devarshi Bhutabta Nrinang Pitrinam. Deva, the first word is Deva, the demigods. Devarshi Bhutabta Pitrinam Nrinang Pitrinam Kinkaro Nayam Rinicha Rajan Saravatmana Yasharnang Sharanyam Gato Mukundam Parihrityakartam. One who is fully, and Prabhupada stresses this word fully surrendered to Mukunda, the giver of liberation. He liberates one from all debts which we otherwise incur. How do you get debts? Well, you take something, you don't give something back in commiserate. But we're born with so many debts. How about that? Even just when we're born, we have so many debts. Immediately. Even you don't know how to talk or walk, and you have so many debts. We're indebted to our mother and father, and the the ancestors and the devas and the rish. We have so many debts which we're supposed to absolve by. And it's not actually that we get free from them, because every time we breathe in, we are indebted to Vayudev. Every time we drink water, we're indebted to Indra. So there's no way out of it. How does one get free from all these reactions? Well, the way is to surrender to Krishna. And then, because the demigods are all servants of Krishna, then one is no longer indebted. Otherwise we're caught. So it's Krishna. We have to offer everything to Krishna. And Krishna, he is the best Tirtha, because the other Tirtha, if we worship demigods, it's all within the realm of Maya. So we cross from one part of Maya to another part of Maya. We're still in Maya. It's like getting promotion. We may get promotion from the 3rd grade prison cell to the 1st grade prison cell. It's great boon in my life. I got the mercy of the prison governor, and he took me from the 3rd grade prison cell to the 1st grade prison cell. So now I have 2,421 channels on my TV instead of some broken down old TV, and I only had 2,122. So it's better. It's better. Now I'm in the 1st class prison cell. But the devotees, they're more intelligent. The devotees, when we say devotee, we mean devotee of Krishna. There may be devotees of demigods, but it's not really devotion, because we want something from them. Devotees, they want to worship Krishna, but we are within the realm of Maya. We want to worship Krishna, but to worship Krishna, we have to worship Krishna with purity. Purity means free from material desires and the concomitant, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. The concomitant material anger, material greed, envy, pride, illusion. And that's only the beginning. And then you get all kinds of misconceptions and attachments. So to get free from Maya, it's a very big step to get free of Maya. Aruhya kritrena parang padam. With great difficulty, people get free from Maya. But they're not. Even after so much difficulty, they're not fully free, because anadrita yushmadangraha, they fail to worship Krishna's lotus feet. So it's a huge step to cross over Maya. The Tirtha means the ford, the place for crossing the river. The river of material life is extremely difficult to cross. It's so big it looks like an ocean. Maybe you had that I don't think in South India you have that experience. I had that experience first of all, it must have been 1978 in Bhagalpur in Bihar, on the south bank of the Ganga in the rainy season. And the Ganga becomes so wide you can hardly see the other side. So it looks like an ocean. Then in Bangladesh, the land was so flooded for so far you couldn't see the limit of it, and not just flooded 2 inches, but pretty deep, and so it looked like an ocean. It was actually well inland, but it looked like a complete ocean. So the river, sometimes they call it Vaitarani River. Vaitarani, the river which separates the material world from the spiritual world. But the material existence itself is Bhavarnava. It's the ocean of coming into being, the ocean of repeated birth and death. Very difficult to cross. What kind of step can one make to cross out of this world? How is it possible? Well, there are ways to cross. So in a great river, which is far too big for a little deer to cross or a little jiva to cross, a great river with tiny little jivas and a huge big river, one should think, well, I need some help. That's very intelligent. The Gyanis think they're very intelligent. By my own intelligence, by my own study, by my own austerity, I will cross the river of material existence. They may accept a guru, but superficially, because they have the idea that when you get liberated, you don't need a guru, you don't need anything. How can a Mayavadi be a guru? If he's liberated, then he should have already nirvana, fought it out, and if he's in this world, then he's not liberated. So how can he teach you how to get liberated? There are so many contradictions in this philosophy. Actually, it's not a philosophy. They say Shankara is a brilliant philosopher, but actually his philosophy is useless. If you take away all the fancy words, it's nonsense. I am you and you are me and we are all together. And Chinmatra, liberation means you just become consciousness. Consciousness of what? Consciousness of nothing. Not conscious of nothing, but because there's nothing to be conscious of. It's just consciousness. And then brilliant examples like the snake and the robe. Material illusion is like you see a rope, and you think it's a snake, and then you understand it's not a snake, it's a rope. So material perception is like you think it's a snake, but there's a real rope there. So how can you say, and the idea of a snake means because there is a real snake somewhere. There's so many rubbish ideas, gatakash, patakash, we break the pot and then the air merges. So what's that got to do with anything? What does that show? It's supposed to show when you become So how are we like the air in a pot? And then you break the pot and then you merge into the air. What is... Anyway, it's nonsense, but some people like it. So the Vaishnavas recognize that we need help to get across. If you have to cross a river, then it's good to go to a ford. The fords are known, just like in England, there are so many places where the name is Ford, the name of the river, and then Ford. Bradford, Hereford. It's not pronounced Ford, it's pronounced Food. Bradford, Hereford, Watford, Brentford. It's because the Brentford is the ford, the crossing place for crossing the river Brent. Simple. So if you know that, and that becomes a town because it's useful. Otherwise, it's useful for merchants and others to go from one side to the other. Just like previously in Dhaka, capital of Bangladesh, there was no bridge over the river Buriganga, which is the main river in Dhaka. So you'd see the city ended on the north bank of the Buriganga, and you can look over the other side and see fields, because it's not practical to go back and forth. But now they built bridges, and then the whole of the other side has become part of the city also. So if there's a known place where you can cross, then you go there. Why should you attempt? If you're trying to cross the river and it's very difficult, the current is very high, someone says, hey, just go downstream a couple of miles and you can just walk through very easily. So Vaishnavas know that Krishna is the best Tirtha. Not only does he give the Tirtha, actually his places, the dhams especially, and then there are holy places like the temples. But then, if we surrender to him, we don't have to cross. One reason is because he manifests himself to us here. Another is that he will carry us over. How about that? You don't have to cross over at all. He takes you over. As he states in Bhagavad Gita, in the discussion of those who try to get liberation by their own efforts, very difficult to ignore Krishna and get liberated, which is the attempt for impersonal liberation. But Krishna says, Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha ananyena eva yogena mandhyayanta upasate tesham aham samudharta mrityu samsaga sagarat bhavami nachirat parta maya veshita chetasam. Prabhupada's translations. This means in contrast with the persons who try to do it by their own efforts, those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their mind upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. And we hear in here, me, my. It comes from the Sanskrit. Yetu sarvani kamani mai sanyasya mat paraha mam dhyantu upasate aham maya veshita chetasam. So Krishna, the persons who actually surrender to Krishna, they don't have to think about crossing. He takes them over. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada quotes from Varaha Purana, Nayami Paramam Sthanam Achiradi Gating Vina Garuda Skandamaropya Yatecham Anivaretaha. In this verse, Srila Prabhupada didn't translate it precisely. He gave us summary indicator. Achiradi Gatin. That means that the persons desiring liberation, they want to go, there's a specific process and then they have to go by the archi path, and it's all very technical, just like we find in the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the second part, there's all this discussion, Shukla Krishna Gatir, leaving this world in the dark period or the bright period, and you have to control yourself by yoga and then get yourself out during the bright period. But for devotees, they don't bother about this. Prabhupada, in his explanation of this verse from Varaha Purana, writes, the purpose of this verse is that a devotee does not need to practice Ashtanga Yoga in order to transfer his soul to the spiritual planets. The responsibility is taken by the Supreme Lord himself. He clearly states here that he himself becomes the deliverer. A child is completely cared for by his parents, and thus his position is secure. Similarly, a devotee does not need to endeavor to transfer himself by yoga practice to other planets. Rather, the Supreme Lord, by his great mercy, comes at once riding on his bird carrier Garuda, and at once delivers the devotee from material existence. Although a man who has fallen in the ocean may struggle very hard and may be very expert in swimming, he cannot save himself. But if someone comes and picks him up from the water, then he is easily rescued. Similarly, the Lord picks up the devotee from this material existence. One simply has to practice the easy process of Krishna consciousness and fully engage himself in devotional service. So just like if we have to cross over the ocean, we can take the world's swimming champion. Who's the world's swimming champion? Anyone? I haven't got a clue. So a very expert swimmer can and put them in a competition with me. I can swim, I don't know, maybe 100 meters, 200 meters max, and then out of energy, out of strength. So it would seem that a great swimmer could cross the ocean much better than me. But okay, we have a swimming race, the world swimming champion versus Bhakti Vikasa Swami. Britain to America. We're going to have a competition. Who can reach America first, if at all? So he jumps Land's End, the end of England, or he might go to Wales, or maybe go to Ireland. You jump off at the west coast of Ireland and start swimming, and I'll get there much sooner. Why? I'll go to Heathrow Airport, get on a flight, and fly into JFK or whatever. So you may say, well, that's cheating. Well, it's not. It's intelligent. So if you want to go, if you don't have to swim, then you go by flight. So you may say, well, it's noble to go by your own efforts, but you're not going to. You're not going to go. You may go, but then you can only go by the mercy of Krishna. But if you're not very fond of Krishna, he's not very likely to help you. He might help you, say, this poor fool, he's trying to swim across. Okay, we'll take him across. We'll take him to America, but we won't allow him to enter the country. You have to go back. No immigration. Okay, that happens often when you arrive in America. They don't just let you in, even if you have a visa and everything. They interview you. What are you coming for? How long are you going to stay? Do you have a return ticket? Blah, 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 blah. It happens to me almost every time I go, because I go dressed like this. They must have my name in the computer, but anyway. So it's like that. By the grace of Krishna, he might take, okay, you cross over, you get to the immigration counter, and they send you back. Aruhya Krishna, but I went to so much trouble. Anyway, get back. So you may cross over. Crossing over by the mercy of Krishna. There are many verses in this regard. I'm going to read from Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, Text 39 and 40. Imam lokam tathaivamum atmanam upayayinam atmanam anuye cheha ye raya pashabogrihaha visrijya sarvan anyangs chamang evam vishvato mukham bhajantyananyaya bhaktya tan mrityur atiparaye. So some words here. Imam, this, lokam, world, tata, accordingly, eva, certainly, amum, that world, atiparaye, I've selected a few words from, I take to the other side. So Krishna says, I take from this world to that world. Atiparaye. Ati in this sense means, take. Para means, you say in Hindi, Bengali, par karna, crossing over. So ati in this sense means, taking over like that, fully. So the translations of this. Thus the devotee who worships me, the all-pervading Lord of the universe, in unflinching devotional service, gives up all aspirations to be promoted to heavenly planets or to become happy in this world with wealth, children, cattle, home, or anything in relationship with the body. I take him to the other side of birth and death. So there are some conditions. One has to fully surrender to Krishna, and then Krishna takes him to the other side. Or even if one is not fully surrendered, if one is really trying, and then Krishna helps. If we're really trying, Krishna helps. We may be really trying, Krishna helps everyone, but he's especially inclined. Even if they're trying to forget him, he also helps them. But especially helps the devotees to cross over the ocean of birth and death. So It's the easy way, but it's very difficult for the yogis. The yogis would rather go and do austerities with great difficulty over many lifetimes. The yogis, the jnanis, they'd rather do that than simply surrender to Krishna. That's all. The yogis and the jnanis, they talk about giving up their ego. But they can't do it because they're so attached to the idea of not surrendering to Krishna. They're so attached to the idea that I will give up my ego. I will do it. It's an egoistic thought in itself. But the devotees, they don't think I'm going to do anything. I can't do anything. I'm just going to request Krishna to accept me, although I'm unqualified, that's all. And try, despite my disqualifications, to engage in his service. And Krishna appreciates that. And he takes us to the other side of birth and death. That's Krishna. So, real pilgrimage means to the lotus feet of Krishna. And there are places in this world which are suitable for that. Certain tirthas are suitable for certain kinds of crossing. If one wants to enjoy in this world or go to the impersonal Brahman, then one may be more inclined to go to Shiva or to Durga. But Vaishnavas are interested in tirthas that will take them to Vaikuntha or to Ayodhya or to Mathura. How does one go to Mathura? You go to Mathura. The place is manifest here in this world, but one has to have the eyes to see it. Otherwise one sees a modern Indian city. Ultimately, devotees want to go to Vrindavan. So devotees go there not, the highest devotees go there not to get some boon, but to serve Krishna there. It used to be a system, and people would get little land in Vrindavan and they'd plant nice trees and make a nice arrangement with the idea that Radha and Krishna may like to come here. So let me make a nice atmosphere for them to come. Make nice trees with nice flowering trees, and then birds will come and sing nicely and make it very nice, but not for oneself. One may have a little cottage and be the caretaker and look after the garden very nicely with the idea Radha and Krishna will like to come. They're here, they live in Vrindavan, so they'll like to come. Let me make an atmosphere suitable for their enjoyment. Hare Krishna. All glories to His Divine Grace, HH Bhakti Vikasa Swami Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. His Holiness Bhakti Vikasa Swami Maharaj ki.